Hey everybody, and good morning to everybody around the world. I guess afternoon, evening, it's just the way we are these days. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourself out there. Welcome, of course, to the Kryptonite Show, your host Superman in the house. And we're going to be talking about some cool topics today, of course, and particularly the digital summit with Donald Trump appearing. We're going to watch that first, actually, that's first up. So we're going to watch his video of at the digital summit. First time he's ever been there, of course, first time a president's ever been there. Very, very exciting where that's heading. And there's a lot of leaks in the market at the moment talking about massive government purchases in some form or another. So we're going to go through that as well. Also, XRP, of course, getting the case drop from the SEC. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And over on Pulse Chain, PDai Maker Theory, potentially a big value creation, but who is running it and who is benefiting? So that's what we're going to look at today as well. If you didn't check out yesterday's video on PUSD ALGO, we covered that stablecoin. That is it's as I call it, species unique, and it's going to be pretty incredible. And of course, you can get a 19% referral a benefit in the video description. That link there. This is the first of its kind, full scalable algorithmic stablecoin. Basically, Terra Luna done the way it should have been without any people and bad mechanisms. So very excited about that. And of course, that's being built by the world's #1 peer-to-peer dev, Jacob. So we're very excited about that. We're going to do a market updates as well. So that should be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Now, I just want to make a special shout out to people watching over on Rumble. We've got a great crowd over there. So big shout out. We've only been streaming on there since Saturday. And yeah, loving being on Rumble. Really great place. And I love the freedom. And I'm really enjoying the platform more and more and more. So great to be over there since Saturday, and a big shout out to everybody watching there. Don't forget to follow, smash the like button, share the channel around, and of course, let's grow. As you guys know, I'm doing crypto, but I'm also doing variety shows. So we cover politics, sports, and all sorts of other crazy stuff on different shows. So it is a lot of fun to be there. Get into the chat as well. Let yourself be known. Let yourself be heard. Obviously, we like a PG channel here, so we keep things nice, family friendly. And that's pretty much it. We've got moderators everywhere, so enjoy the day. Enjoy the day, as we say. All right, so let's jump into some action here. And we've got a few comments in the chat. Let's see who's here. We've got Brian. Brian's our community leader and, of course, the head of moderation. So big shout out to you, Brian, and his sidekick, Hedgehog, in there as well. Good to see Hedgehog. Pretty excited. We've got Brendan in the house as well. Howdy, Super. Thoughts on RH latest tweets? Well, I tried to bring those up today, Brennan, but I wasn't able to bring them up on the screen. So I might have to try and do that during the live stream and pull those up. So on a different browser. So we'll see how we go there. We've got Media Player in the house. Hey, good to see a Media Player. And big shout out there, like the fire, looking good. And we've also got MVS Crypto in the house as well. Morning, Super. Emmett, yeah. We're going to be talking about Emmett. I did post a video yesterday on the upcoming Emmett farm. Obviously, you got to do your own investment due diligence, all that good stuff. But at the moment, you're getting in early on that. So check out that video I posted yesterday on the Emmett farm. Also, going to have an NFT bonus in there as well. So get on that as well and join the Telegram. The earlier you get in, you might get part of the airdrop. That's what happens when you're early in crypto. So check that out as well. That video Emmett on this channel, just posted it yesterday, and it's we walked through basically the white paper on that. So check out all the details. I will talk about that a bit again later on. We got Anita in the house as well. Good to see Anita. Welcome, and I hope you're doing well there as well. And if you're over on Rumble, yeah, get into the chats there, folks. Get into the chats over on Rumble. I'm very, very excited about Rumble, so get in there too. So we're on YouTube, 11,000 subscribers, over 3 channels. So big shout out, and we're going to adding a 4th channel soon. So it's going to bump us up to 14,000. So we're starting to grow and move forward. So it's pretty exciting, and we want to make a real big community and talk about a lot of great stuff. So I hope everybody enjoys that. I think we've got some links there, haven't we, from Brian? A nice one there, Brian. Appreciate playing that forward. That is the link to Rumble if you are watching that. So kind of cool. All right, let's get into it without further ado. The Digital Summit, bam, and let's play this video. And this is Donald Trump, man, first president. So awesome stuff.
How we doing, everyone? Good. I'm Jason Yanowitz. I'm one of the co-founders of Blockworks. In about 30 seconds, we have a historic moment. The President of the United States is going to address the Digital Asset Summit. This is the first time in history that a sitting president has addressed a crypto conference. I know everyone has their phones out, but please give a massive round of applause and help me welcome the President of the United States to address Digital Asset Summit.
To everyone at the Blockworks Digital Assets Summit. It's an honor to speak with you about how the United States is going to dominate crypto and the next generation of financial technologies. And it's not going to be easy, but we're way ahead. Just 2 weeks ago, we hosted the first ever White House Digital Asset Summit, bringing together many of the world's top leaders in crypto for a conversation led by our White House AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, who's a fantastic and very brilliant guy. That same week, I signed an order creating the brand new strategic Bitcoin reserve and a U.S. digital asset stockpile, which will allow the federal government to maximize the value of its holdings instead of foolishly selling them for a fraction of their long-term value, which is exactly what Biden did. He got a fraction of their value. We're ending the last administration's regulatory war on crypto and Bitcoin, and that includes stopping the lawless Operation Choke Point 2.0. Operation Choke Point went beyond regulation, and I mean far beyond. It was a form of lawfare through government weaponization. Frankly, it was a disgrace. But as of January 20th, 2025, all of that is over. I've also called on Congress to pass landmark legislation creating simple, common sense rules for stablecoins and market structure. With the right legal framework, institutions large and small will be liberated to invest, innovate, and take part in one of the most exciting technological revolutions in modern history. It's so big, it's, I think, as big as you can get. Pioneers like you will be able to improve our bank security and wealth for American consumers and businesses alike. You will unleash an explosion of economic growth, and with the dollar-backed stablecoins, you'll help expand the dominance of the U.S. dollar, and many, many years to come, it'll be at the top, and that's where we want to keep it. We only want to keep it at the top, always. I can already see that the energy and passion of the crypto community is the kind of spirit that built our country, and it is exciting to watch as you invent the future of finance. And right here, it's going to be right here in the USA, the good old USA. Together, we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world. Thank you. Good luck. God bless America.
Let me guess.
So that was President Trump, and pretty exciting for that. That was President Trump there. Amazing. So pretty cool. I'm not sure happening there. Disappeared. But very exciting stuff there from President Trump there. And, of course, talking about the Bitcoin, strategic Bitcoin reserve. And, of course, we know about the altcoin stockpile as well. So that was pretty cool. And, yeah, nice little thing. Now, we've got some further leaks coming out about potentially government buying. Obviously, there are different funds out there as well. We knew that the strategic Bitcoin reserve was going to be budget neutral. But that means, could they find some money somewhere without taxing the Americans and things like that? So that was pretty interesting stuff there. So kind of cool. Yeah, we're just getting more and more support there from Trump's administration, which I think is pretty exciting as well. We got Brennan in the house there. Biden buys tops and sells bottoms. So good to see Brennan. Alpha intellect there, says Brian. Nice. And let's hope so, says Anita. Let's hope so indeed. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. So we're going to pull that back up there as well, and we're going to switch that out. Let's put that. I'm not sure what's happened to that banner, but it's disappeared. And let's reset, and of course look at the stock market. So I'm going to do that. And I didn't quite automate this properly, did I? So let's switch that over, and bam. All right, little technical difficulties to kick it off, but we're going to get into the stock market. Stock market going pretty well yesterday, but not so much today. S&P 500 ends lower after giving up post-Fed gains. And of course, we can see the Dow Jones is pretty flat today, down 11 points to 41,953. We got the S&P 500 down 0.2%, 12 points to 5,662. and we've got the Nasdaq down to 30%, 59 points, down to 17,691. So all the indices are pretty much down for the Thursday, and the US dollar there is strengthened just a little bit, 0.33%, up to 103.45, but it's definitely down from the highs when Trump, initially came in for the first few weeks. It was up at 108. It's down to 103 now. Commodities, of course, West Texas oil is up 0.2% to $68.50. Brent oil there up 2%, $1.50 to $72.26. So a bit of rise in oil there. And gold at the moment, $3,053. And of course, we're just past 3,000, right? Record levels. We know that Morgan Stanley has a price target of about 3,500. So up and away for gold. And of course, we've still got more volatility coming up with the Trump tariffs on the 2nd of April. Those are reciprocal tariffs. Who would have thought? They say that Trump would be the free trade advocate and, of course, the fair trade advocate as well. So kind of cool. Turns out all the liberals, as we've always known for decades, the tyrants, right? They're the ones that put up the barriers, etc., etc. You guys know the story. We got silver there as well, $34. That's up pretty nicely there. Not too bad. We're expecting some big things for silver, potentially up to $75, maybe even up to as high as 125. We will get a runaway on silver and gold. So we'll keep looking out for that, especially as interest rates come down, right? And we may get some big money printing from the Fed as well. So keep a lookout for that this year. That would all feed into lower interest rates means more risk on, and more money coming in means more money to inflate the assets base. And that's caused we might also see the Federal Reserve buying more crypto as well, because that'll be one way to increase the excitement in the market and the asset bases as well. So kind of cool as Trump rejigs the US economy, right? So basically, he is trying to use tariff wars, of course, to bring manufacturing back into the US, also to renegotiate a lot of other positions, such as social ills like drugs. But he's also trying to reduce the federal expenses, right, with Dodge, probably at least by $1 trillion. And, of course, get as well lower the debt requirements with lower interest rates, because obviously they've got about $7 trillion of debt due as well. So there's lots of things they're trying to do, lower the costs, and of course get that tax break, get that tax locked in so that they can grow the economy from 1.8 to 3%. And if they do that, they will be able to get the economy booming, right? And of course, in addition to that, they're going to do major investments in the US economy, as we know, from AI to semiconductors and all those sort of good things there. Now, many of you may not know, but pretty much close to 100% of semiconductors are made in Taiwan. And of course, Taiwan is a target of China. And of course, whoever controls the semiconductors as well as rare earths, which China already dominates, will be able to, pretty much win win either a military or a commercial battle. So there's a lot of fights going on around those issues, and that's part of the reason why Trump's probably looking at, as well as military security, looking at Alaska. And of course, developing Alaska and looking at Greenland, right? And also why he's putting a lot of pressure on Canada as well as the 51st state, because if he can consolidate all that, he has got strategic and resource and commercial advantage, which is fundamental. So he's looking at the big picture. I think it's a really good move. So domestically, rejigging the US economy, globally, repositioning America for power, and that will make the world a safer place, right? And of course, I think he's going to be looking for deals in South America as well, because China's rampant through South America with resource deals, as well as I don't know if he's going to go as far afield as Africa, where China is also active, very active, as well as the Middle East. But there's a big resource game going on in the world at the moment. So this is where to play. So when you think about Trump's actions, think about all those things moving together, because it's going to be pretty impressive when he pulls it all off. All right, so going pretty good there. Now, don't forget to get in the comment section as well. We got any more comments? No, that's it for the moment. So that's where we are at the moment. Now, US job reports, initial jobless claims inched up to 223,000 in the week ended March 15th, increasing from an uply revised 221,000. And that was according to Department Labor data. Economists had a figure of 224,000, so it's pretty close to 23. So there we go. The Fed, of course, hasn't changed the interest rates on Wednesday. It's still at 4.5%. The central bank maintains its outlook at 3.75 to 4% for 25. So that's 2 rate cuts by December is at the moment. Kind of cool. All right, so that is where we are at the moment. So let's jump into crypto. Crypto had a nice bounce yesterday along with the stock market. But today it is 84,000 on Bitcoin, down 2.7%. Ethereum at the moment is at $2,000, down 3.5%. We got Solana down 5%, and even after the good news for XRP, it is down 5% as well, which is the reason why we might bring in the XRP case at the moment. SEC drops the case against crypto firm with ties to Trump. And of course, the SEC there has ended. This is ABC News, right? So it's always going to tie everything into Trump, right? So you can't get rid of the propagandists out of these left wing media things. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. So every single thing they'll put Trump in, tied to Trump, associated. You know how they work. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple Labs, said on the social media platform X that the case against the company has ended. Today is a victory and a long overdue surrender by the SEC. The SEC spokesman declined to comment to the ABC News. The move, which is not confined by the SEC, prevents Ripple from potentially facing $125 million fine. So pretty cool, right? Pretty cool actions happening there. So that is the SC, and of course today with the markets, it's just retraced there a bit. Solana also down 5%, ADA down 3.5% at the moment. BNB is up 1.7%, and Tron is up 2%, which is kind of it's kind of a flip thing of yesterday, right? So that's kind of weird how the numbers have flipped. With BNB, Tron doing well today as opposed to yesterday. ADA down 3.5%. Litecoin there down almost 1% as well. Now that is kind of where we are there. I was just trying to think of this other coin that I hadn't talked about for ages, but really haven't talked much about that. Now, is that Picoin down there? I'm not sure. I thought we were going to look at Picoin, but Picoin there slipping down in the ranks at the moment, which is pretty crazy. In fact, let's go to look for Picoin. I'm going to go to CoinGecko and look at the rankings because Picoin is down today. Now, if you guys are in Pi Network, it is a huge, it's one of the two phone ones. If you're back in crypto in 2019, you would have seen these phone apps, pop up, like a real democratization of crypto, right? You could just mine crypto on your phone. And so we had Electronium was a big one that was based out of the UK. And then we had this Pi Network, right, based out of the United States. And the Pi Network has essentially won that battle, and they are the big player on the field. However, they are very centralized. They have a terrible, horrible KYC process and regulation in it. But they're building out markets online. So they also, not only the individuals get KYC, but also the businesses get KYC. So KYB, they call it. So they're creating big markets at the moment. They thought they were going to get a Binance listing on what they call PDai, which is back on the 14th of March. That was also the last day that people could qualify for the Pi that they had mined. So there's lots of controversial stuff going on there regarding they build up teams of people that mine, and you benefit from that. Well, you may not get a lot of that benefit, right? So that's pretty controversial after 6 years, for goodness sake. So these guys, I'm not a big fan of the whole setup. I'm very critical of it. But I also can't ignore the fact that it's a very big network. They've had 60 million people download the phone. They've built up this market structure. They're currently doing Pi names like ENS on Ethereum. And that's, could be quite lucrative, particularly if you get good names, like Amazon.pi, for example, could be a name that you could have. And so there is a lot of stuff there, a lot of businesses wanting to come onto that. It does suit the regulatory centralized market like the EU, which we all hate, because all that's just about control and enslavement, right? Because real crypto is definitely DeFi crypto, right? It's DeFi, decentralized. You're responsible. You're individual. You got freedom. That is true crypto, right? You got to delineate there. Now, so that's kind of where we are there on Pi, and it's been slipping down the ranks, right? So no Binance listening. Binance basically said, well, even with a people's vote, that it's not on the Binance chain, right? Because it's going to own its own network. So that hasn't happened yet. Now, Coinbase apparently will be probably supporting it. So we'll see whether that's enough to lift Pi. But it's slipped down from about number 11 all the way down to number 23 now. And the price has slipped down to $1.05, down 36% this week. The other thing that makes a lot of people that are mining Pi that qualified on the 14th of March is that it can take up to 30 days or more potentially to get your Pi. And even when you get your Pi, then it's stuck for 2 weeks for so-called security reasons, and then so on. And then they're adding all these other security layers. So it's a pretty crazy environment, Pi Network. And I'm sure the people must be frustrated that have waited 6 years and they just getting more frustration. But that's what happens when you're not in a DeFi environment, right? You are subject to the control of the team, right? And if the team are a bunch of crazies, that's what you got to go through, right? So that's kind of where we are at the moment on that. Anyway, the market on crypto 2.85 trillion, up down 4% today. That's kind of where we are. And let's have a look at the future. So that's today's market. It's not so hot on Thursday, but word on the street is it could get pretty exciting because we've got the floodgates may open. Bitcoin and crypto brace for a $9 trillion Fed price flip. So it's not all bad news. That we're still looking for a super bull market this year. And of course, Bitcoin has been stuck in holding pattern in recent weeks, struggling to regain momentum after panic selling raised fears of a major Bitcoin price crash. The Bitcoin price dropped from its all-time high of almost 110,000, was 108 or so, wasn't it? Plummeting up to around 80k. Now, as trade, it's currently about 84k. Now, as traders speculate, Donald Trump's White House could be gearing up to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. Closely watched crypto trader Arthur Hayes has predicted the Federal Reserve is about to step in to stabilize markets, potentially triggering a Bitcoin price boom. So that is some positive stuff there on the street as well. When there's financial distress, they always print money. It doesn't matter the political leanings, and we are expecting some sort of cyclical money printing. Like I say, the Fed has two mechanisms, right? The interest rates and the money supply. And so if you got the interest rates going down, means people want to get a higher yield, they take more risk on. If you start printing more money to prop up the economy, so then you're going to get more spending and more allocation to the risk assets, right? Like crypto. So they always print money. It doesn't matter the political leanings. Hayes, the co-founder of crypto derivatives pioneer BitMEX, who went into launch the Maelstrom investment company, said in a wide-ranging interview on Bitcoin News, Bitcoin price in the wider crypto market has followed stock markets lower in recent weeks as traders react to U.S. President Donald Trump's off again international trade tariffs and the risk of recession. Remember, Morgan Stanley increased their expectation from 30 to 40%. And so, but we also know that Trump administration, as they're transitioning the U.S. economy towards the golden age, are trying to do it in a slower way. So a lot of the GOP Republicans were keen to do it very fast, cutting federal spending, for example, which would every $300 billion has about a 1% impact on GDP. So they can only do this very slowly, right? They can only do this very slowly transition. And source that we see all that commerce secretary they're talking about keeping that very controlled. So this is actually a lot more controlled than you might hear, particularly from the left-wing media that don't know what they're talking about, right? So they're the ones that have been destroying the West, so we just ignore them. That's all we can say. So yeah, that's kind of where we are at the moment. So Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is between a rock and a hard place. Wells Fargo's chief economist has told the Wall Street Journal, with the Fed likely to hold rates steady today as it grapples with the prospect of Donald Trump's trade war fueling an inflation bump, but also dampening economic growth. Traders are whispering that Powell could announce an end to the Fed's balance sheet runoff program, known as quantitative tightening. I bet you guys remember these terms, which could boost the Bitcoin price, crypto, and stock markets. Our rates strategists expect the statement to indicate that the Fed is pausing quantitative tightening until the debt ceiling is resolved, as suggested in the January minute meeting. So they do not expect the restart after the debt ceiling is addressed, but the announcement won't be made until later this year. The Fed will announce its interest rate decision, and of course we've had that out already, no change. Last year, of course, Fed Chair Powell hinted that the end of quantitative tightening was coming in 2025. If he mentions it today's statement or press conference, and we'll probably talk about that tomorrow, that would end up signaling that we're in a new monetary regime and the Fed stands ready to resume additional debt purchases. And that is called quantitative easing as opposed to tightening, become necessary, basically printing money, issuing bonds and things like that. While renewed quantitative easing is unlikely anytime soon, the additional liquidity from a larger buyer like the Fed coming back into the market to replace maturing holdings would be good news. So, and of course, additional Treasury market is facing a $9 trillion in debt maturity this year that quantitative tightening could disrupt, right? When the floodgates open, it's go time, Hayes said, referring to the return of liquidity to the market and predicting they're going to reflate and print more money than anyone else has ever done before. Well, that was Biden. Under Biden, they did that, right? The last Bitcoin price boom that saw the Bitcoin price climb to around 70,000 in late 2021 came in the aftermath of huge COVID-era government stimulus spending and money printing. We are experiencing a low in liquidity fiat money generation, Hayes has predicted the Bitcoin price will reach 250,000 by the end of the year as the Fed is forced to flip dovish and move to prop up the economy and assets. So we've got Fed purchases potentially. We've got Trump administration purchases. We got potentially that. We also got monetary printing and easing in the inflation and monetary policy. So both bullish for risk on assets, right? And so very excited about that. We saw another article here, leaked fuels, wild speculation of a big Trump crypto update as Bitcoin price suddenly surges. That was from yesterday, of course. Bitcoin has climbed after the Federal Reserve met expectations, leaving interest the same. Bitcoin price soared, but now as Russia is revealed to be gearing up for crypto showdown with the US, a leak that primed the Bitcoin price for a big crypto update from President Donald Trump has been confirmed. So we've got lots of cool things sort of teasing us there, not just the United States, but other states also looking to compete for crypto. So this is probably just a short-term volatility lull, and maybe from April onwards, we are game on. We are game on as it slowly ramps up. So let's see where we get with that. Could be pretty exciting. All right, so we've got Pulse Chain at the moment, day 678. We're going to get into all that. But before we do, get into the comments and let us know how you're doing. We've got a few people in the house there as well. Craig Pitt, morning all. Hey, good to see you, Craig. And we've got Kairos as well. A good morning to you, Kairos. Big shout out to the Emmett team. So Kairos there, founder of the Emmett project there, or Emmett Farm, coming to Pulse Chain. So big shout out there. And yeah, definitely check out the video I did yesterday on the Emmett Farm. Because that is potentially going to be huge on Pulse Chain coming up. And I like their long-term view on it as well. So definitely check out that video, full breakdown of what the tokenomics and things are going to be. And as I understand it, could be launching within a week, possibly. Also, the website's due to come out soon as well. So lots more details there coming out from Emmett and Kairos there. So great to see you in the chat there today. All right. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Brian. What was I referring to at the time? Sounds like a sketch to me. I'm not sure what that was about. Let me know. All right. So let's jump into the stuff now. I was going to bring up Richard Hart's post. I'm just going to quickly look for that. So give me a second to do that and get any comments in the chat there. Anything that you've seen that's been of interest to you. So yeah, big shout out once again to everybody over Rumble. Got a great crowd over there today. Great to see you all as well. Make sure you check up on this channel, this show every day, because we're going to be doing crypto and variety shows pretty much once or twice a day, so which is pretty cool. So let me just pull this up. So I'm just going to Richard Hart here. This is an account that I didn't get suspended on X, which it's pretty easy to do that when you're making comments. Not difficult at all. Apparently, it doesn't matter. Only Rumble is the place where you seem to be able to be free. Rumble. Even X under Elon still has I think a lot of people working for him that are still not good. So yeah, I've seen these posts. So yeah, not really. The only one is the PDai one about one of the stupidest things in crypto is when people pretend a coin was founded by someone or secretly supported by someone. It sounds as stupid as, yeah, man, Satoshi's actually behind this coin. Telling the truth is better than lying. Tell the truth, says Richard Hart here. So that's about it. So yeah, I don't need to pull those up today, but appreciate that. Kairos in the house says definitely was a great video you did yesterday. NFT is coming up this weekend, and the farm is end of this coming week. So you've got a few days to maybe 9 days, something like that, to get into the Telegram. Kairos, I'm not sure. I don't know if you can actually add links, but if people want to get into the Telegram there, go watch the video. I encourage you to go watch the Emmett video there and get hold of that. So let me just actually pull that up while I'm here, since I'm talking about it. And I'll give you a link to the video on Emmett, and you go watch that after this live stream and check it out. It's only short, it's only like 6 minutes, so pretty easy to digest, and then join Telegram afterwards. The link in the description. So let me post that in the chat. Let me find the chat first. Well, when people are on TV, they have a production crew, right? And so you don't have to worry about all the production side of it. When you're streaming, you have to do the whole thing both together. Right? You got to run the studio, link up all the content, and presumably you do most of it before the live stream, but sometimes you just do things on the fly. So that is the link to the Emmett video. Definitely check it out. Big farm coming to Pulse Chain and NFT this weekend, so you don't want to miss that. The earlier you get in, the better, right? That's the rule. The earlier you get in, the better. There are airdrops and other things going on as well. And if you're active in the Telegram, you may get picked up for that and get some airdrop points, as it were. So get into that and join up. Now I'll give you the link to the Telegram as well. So these are the socials. So if you want to join up and join the Telegram, make it nice and easy. How about that? It's better to make it nice and easy, is it? Bam. So let's post that in the chat. So that is a link to the Telegram and also the Emmett Farm on X. So there we go. Check it all out and join up today. Say that Superman sent you if you want. Hey. And Kara says we've got an airdrop list going on now for any users that join the community. If you guys in there, let me know. You can come from here so I can get you on the airdrop list. There we are. That's the Karos there, the founder. And Brian, are you able to post the links in the Rumble as well? I just don't have access to that at the moment. So Brian, if you could copy that these links here. And also the YouTube video as well, so people can watch it, although it is on Rumble. So post those links if you can, Brian. That'd be great. All right, so that is that. What else we got going there? So get involved, folks. You might get on the whitelist. That was the founder there right now. NFT is coming up this weekend, and the farm at the end of next week on Pulse Chain. Going to be awesome. And what else do we have there? Just to wrap that up. We've got an airdrop list going on now for users that join the community. If you guys get in, if you guys are in there, let me know. You came from here, Superman here on the Kryptonite Show, so I can help get you on the airdrop list. How about that? There we go. You can't do much better than that, and those are the links to join up. So definitely join up there. And if you want to watch the full video I did yesterday, that is it there. So plenty of information and yeah, good times for everybody, right? All right, so let's get back into it. We're going to get into the Pulse Chain numbers, talking about Pulse Chain. So let's do that. And we've got the day 678. We've got Pulse at the moment down 10%. I cannot believe the bargain at the moment on Pulse Chain. My goodness, what an opportunity. What an opportunity. All you have to do is buy low, right? And be patient and then sell high later on. That's it. That's crypto for you. Thanks, Brian, for posting those on Rumble, by the way. Now we've got the price at quadruple 027 is down 10%. We've got Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 0239 down 10.7%. Now these are only at 27% of the mean sacrifice for Pulse and 24% of the mean sacrifice for Pulse X. So if you're not familiar with how Pulse Chain launched, it had what they call a sacrifice process, which was launched by Richard Hart, pretty much the biggest and most engaged founder in crypto with the Rebel brand. He's the Rebel. So yeah, that is how it launched, and that was back on the I think it was the 13th of May 2023 with the fork snapshot of Ethereum on the 10th of May. So Pulse Chain is a full system state copy of Ethereum from the 10th of May. So if you had coins on Ethereum, you'd have coins on Pulse Chain. So if it's something that you were you didn't know about, maybe being on Ethereum, you will have copies of your coins over on Pulse Chain if you had them on the 10th of May. So check those out. Check your wallet. Jump over to Pulse Chain. And of course, it's on the EVM chain, right? So full system state fork. The buy and burn on Pulse X at the moment, 1.32 trillion, 6.66% of the Pulse X is bought up and burned. So that's a little bit ominous, I know, 666, but that's where it's at the moment. Incentive token, $1.44 is down 11.7%. The ratio is at 53,400 pulse. The inflation's been cut 20x, right? So we know that Richard has been lowering the inflation rate on Pulse Chain. That is an early sign of future pumpamentals. So excited about that, right? Hex at the moment is just below, what was that, 67/100th of a penny, down 9.4%. What a steal at the moment on Hex. And EHEX is 19/100th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is at 86/100th of a penny. What a steal right now for the old Hex there. Once again, crypto turns around very fast. And if we're expecting potentially Fed buying, state buying in the United States for crypto, institutions flooding in, sovereign states flooding in, the Federal Reserve printing money, lowering interest rates. Come on, guys. The future is bright for crypto, and it's going to be exciting. Now, I think at worst on the negative, we could possibly have a soft recession. That's the 40% chance of that. And so, but if we get the Fed printing, it's going to help boost the stuff. We get Trump fixing up the US economy and budget, stuff like that. It's going to be huge too. So yeah, the only really risks out there other than that are geopolitical risks, right? Which we keep monitoring on. So pretty exciting times for the old Pulse Chain. And of course, what a bargain to get in at this stage. So kind of cool. Now we're going to look at the gas prices quickly. They've obviously been elevated with the PDai maker. Early in the week, we had the big drama of 300 million beats. It's now 4.7 million beats, 5 cents for a Pulse swap at the moment. Let's go to the validators. Validators at the moment is 48,469, so it's holding pretty steady. And the bridge is probably gone down today. Yeah, 92.4 million. That's the lowest we've seen the bridge these days. We see that the DAI has just gone below 25 mil. Obviously, ETH and Bitcoin are down. But Coast is pretty steady at 9 million there. So not bad, not bad. I'll keep an eye on that. Total volume on Pulse Chain, 42.5 million today. Up slightly from yesterday, I think that's if I remember rightly. And we got almost 500,000 in transactions, which is unbelievable. We do have a few little green candles, very small ones. Not a lot happening on Pulse Chain today. But we got a little bit of move here on Beast Token, which I think is part of the Finvest ecosystem. We got the Orion Directive, which I can't remember what that's about, but that's up 2%. We got the PDC, the Grays with Axis up a little bit. Fetch Oracle, they're up just a tad. And the Trump token, they're up a tad. Other than that, we haven't got not a lot of action there. But let's go to the negatives to see what the negatives are. While Teddy Bear and Atropa are still under pressure there from the James and Maria event earlier this week. We sold off a lot of Atropa because of a DAI printing scare, which turns out maybe not to be a printing scare, but just a recycling. As we're going through what's the flop stage on the old thing there. What's happening there? So we've got some comments in the chat there. Let me just jump into that. I'm having some feed comments there. We got Brian says, "Boss, hey, thanks for that, posting that Emmett stuff." We got Crypto Dan in house. Keeping everyone on their toes. It is indeed, that is true. Brendan's in house says, "Trump, feel free to add RH tokens to the stockpile." That's true. Looks like XRP is going to be there, right? So. Didn't RH use some Elon laws? He did indeed. He did, yes. What else there? Connections, just saying, says Brian. Yeah. Yes, connections, yes. Now I understand the context there. I was worried about the feed connection having a problem. All right, so kind of cool. Yeah, so Teddy Bear and Atropa are still down pretty severely. Let's have a look at the Teddy Bear one here, down 32%. Let's see. Look at this chart. I know people don't want to look at this chart, but that is the chart there. So yeah, definitely been grinding down at the moment on Teddy Bear. Now we know big influencers like Moondog are big on this, so they're taking a bit of hit at the moment, unless they also sold. Maybe they contributed. I don't know. I'm just speculating there, just like anyone would, and anyone could. Let's go to the Atropa DAI pair and see how Atropa's getting on at the moment. Still looks pretty similar pattern, right? Pretty similar pattern tend to be there, and that is down too at 1,400 for the penny. But he's talked about shoring up the community, right? So he's got some other plans up his sleeve. Last time I saw, was it yesterday? So we'll see what happens there with the James Maria dev. Investor also down pretty serious. Investor's been one of the better performers, down 28% today, probably because of the down market at the moment. But that's generally been one of the better performing ecosystems at the moment. That is down 28%. PDCs, the Greys are still down as well. So some of our best performers are all taking a big old smash in the face. How about that? These are some of the very best performers outside of Richard Hart tokens, which have been flourishing while we're waiting for Richard Hart tokens to really rally. Maker's down 23% as well, with the Maker DAI theory that we've been going to talk about briefly today. So yeah, down. That's all that we got there at the moment. So pretty crazy stuff going on there with the market. And that's it. What we're going to look at PDai. Let's go to some categories. You don't believe it. I made watch lists all last night. I went through and I was I used to have these cool watch lists. Well, I was making them again, and they've just got wiped again. I don't know what's going on with that screener. Crazy. Why are they all wiped again? I mean, I just did it last night. That's so annoying. But that's just what happens. I don't know. It's just life sometimes. That is crazy. I had these beautiful now I'm going to have to type it in now. I don't even know if I'm going to get the right contract though. That's the old problem. So that's kind of where we are. Let's go see let's go to GoPulse. What am I saying? GoPulse. I don't know. I'm messing it around here. So let's go to GoPulse and let's have a look at the let's have a look from here because it's a bit easier to find it here. Let's scroll down to the bottom. And we got PDai. PDai down 34%. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. It is at quarter of a penny. Man, this thing is a volatile beast. Oh, no data either. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, so down to a quarter penny. Did a rally up to 72. So this is only a few days ago. So a few days ago, it was at 72/100th of a penny, and now it's down at a quarter of a penny. Man, oh man. Crypto can be brutal, can't it? It can be brutal. So that is where we are at the moment. And the market tried to do a recovery. Tried to do a recovery, went to half a penny, came down, just keeps sliding down. Now at a quarter of a penny on a negative market. So opportunity for some and misery for others. That's where we are on the PDai. But we are going through the flop period, aren't we, Brennan? You've been following that, eh? We are going through the flop. So flop's due to today, right? So due to finish today with the MakerDAO. So we'll see what happens with that. We might talk about that later on this afternoon, possibly, or in Discord. What did I say? Moon King? Yeah. What did I say? Did I say Moon King? I'm pretty sure I did. Wookie says only looks at stable coin chart, says Wookie. Yeah, that's true at the moment. Brian says rugged. It is rugged indeed. Yes, the flop is due today. Yeah, so the flop is due today. So that's new auctions, right? The flash loan auctions coming up for the flop. So yeah, we'll see. Apparently the debt winds down to zero. I think it was. Yeah, I think that's right. And then we see the flop auction, which is supposed to be a key process. What did I say? You said Moon Dog. What is the name? Moon Dog. I apologize, Moon King. Sorry, Moon King. That was an innocent accident there. Moon Dog. Get myself in trouble with that stuff. So yeah, we've got that happening today. So what's going to happen with the old MakerDAO? MakerDai, I should say. MakerDAI. Really botching up the words today. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with that. So we will keep abreast of that and see whether that's actually cycled down yet or not. So kind of cool. All right, so that is where we are on that one. And let me just go to Titanix. Are we on Titanix there? We are. We are Titanix quickly. So obviously Titanix went up pretty nicely yesterday, but has gone down with Ethereum today. So Titanix ecosystem on Ethereum and also moving Omnichain on base chain. We're going to quickly go through some of these numbers. I'm going to go through all the details, but down 10% on the price today. No surprise there. DragonX down 15% as leverage down as well. The ratio is at 6.4 on the Titanix ratio. And we're at 8,600 on the Titanix ratio versus Ethereum. So we've still got 10 zeros, right? Trying to lose that 1 0, go to 9,000. 9 zeros, 1,000. That'd be pretty cool. We're still at the 10s here. Omnichain X28 really suffering there. 0.83 Titanix. That's crazy. We are waiting for Omnichain to fix that thing up because it needs to be over 1-to-1. It shouldn't be under 1-to-1. It should be over 1-to-1. So we're waiting for that fix up. Shogun going Omnichain as well. Jake Sharp there building Omnichain but disappeared. One of his tenants is marketing. We see quite a few of the hardcore influencers marketing, like I'm thinking Mo and the Dude and Crypto Utah and that. So, breaking one of his own tenants. Hey, look, I'm a big supporter, but, you got to call out, when people aren't doing their own principles. You got to call that out, right? So marketing. We got Hyper out there as well, down 9.7%. We got Hydra down 16% at 0.07. DragonX at the moment. And that's all minted out, right? All the buy and burns are turned off, right? So that's because the market conditions are pretty bad, probably. But we just don't know when V1 will ever be used. Maybe it'll be used in small stints. We don't know. We got Vault there at the moment, down 11%. Vault being one of my favorite ecosystems there from Crazy Stevie D. Really, I think is the number one ROI tokenomics dev. Obviously, doesn't mean you can't borrow ideas and stuff like that, but that is looking forward to Bitcoin Genie coming up. Inferno's going Omnichain, down 25% today, so probably the hardest hit so far out of all these. But Crypto Utah doing a good job out there. Morpheus from Brandon down 14%. We're expecting news out of that for V3 dexes, particularly on base and Pulse Chain. Baby Dragon X is going to Omnichain over to base, and what else? Tink Farm there. We're looking forward to some news there, particularly with YVMX and anything that Eric from Dragon X has got. Building out for Titanix. Element 280 is going over there to Omnichain as well. That is from the Dude, and we look forward to that. and his other projects, of course, going over there too. 369, 380, 480, I should say. 360. I keep changing the definition of the titles. 280, 280, 280. So there we go. That's going over. What else? Uranus, of course, is performing like a boss. Now, I covered Uranus, right? And that's performing like a boss, doing very, very well there. And that's 2.45 x28. So everyone that's gone to Uranus, that's that project over the last 40 days on base chain. It is the first Titan project on base chain. They'll be very happy because it was a 1-to-1 mint, and now it's 2.45, and the price is only down 2%. The buy and bin's turned off. Lots of good things coming up from there. So a big shout out to the dude and James and all the team over there running that. So looking very, very good. People are very pretty about that. The USDX, the liquidity fork, doing very well as well. We hit over $2 million yesterday, probably down a little bit today, but that's doing very good there from super shadowy there as well. So it's doing pretty well. And of course, what else are we expecting? We're expecting. We did have a project launch. I think we did. I thought we just had a project launch. It's further down, isn't it? No, it's coming up. Okay, 14 hours to go until Flare launches. And this is going to be tied in with Inferno, isn't it? So that is about to launch. If you want to check that out, do check it out. I think if you want to find out more details, hit up Crypto Utah on just follow the links basically on social media. It's got the X and everything over there. You can do that. I'll post the X Titan X sub if you want to check out Flare there, and do your due diligence as normal. We've got some more comments as well. Orky says, look, it can up or down or sideways, says Brendan on the markets. Lol. We got sideways is the new up, or down is the new up. Down is the new up, Wookie. Down is the new up, mate. We got Brendan says facts, that's true. Yes, sir, says Brian. Yep. And there is the link to the Titan X ecosystem. All the buy and burns are turned off. So there's very few cryptos that have collateral DAOs that basically asset backing for the crypto. But also the fact there's virtually very rare that they actually have a buy and burn as well. So which is over 90% of the collateral. So we'll have a great wave 3 at some stage. We just got to time the bottom. At the moment, of course, it's a good DCA zone, right? Buy low, sell high later on. That's kind of cool. Brian says, I think it's Superman's AI needs to reboot. Yeah, I think you might be right. Artificial intelligence here. Now, I was just watching, funny you say that, because I was just watching a thing on string theory, and the opening lecture says, no one really understands string theory. And then I watched, I think it was Valinkin or something like that, and he goes, string theory doesn't work. So this is one of the leading mathematicians and physicists on string theory. Doesn't work. And then I watched a video on a lecture class. Says no one really knows what it is. No. And by the time you finish this course, you also won't know what it is, and so you can go out and spread your ignorance. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, the idea that atoms are little strings, and that's where you get into the multiverse, right? You got different frequencies on the strings and all that sort of stuff there. But no one's ever, string theory is dead. Yeah, that's right. I think it's pretty much dead. And they're going to keep trying to innovate on it, but it seems pretty dead. There's no picture of a string, of a subatomic particle as a string. So I think that it's pretty much dead. And of course, then they get into quantum and consciousness and all that sort of stuff. That's the only direction they've got, right? Is that subatomic particles are conscious, and also that will link us into the multiverse, because that's all they got left. So they're really backed into a corner, in my view. So that's quite hilarious stuff. There is no string. Yeah. How long is a piece of string? That's true. All right. So it's pretty funny topic there. So if you guys like science, like I do, it is pretty funny, that whole area there. But these are materialists, right? So that's all they were backed into the corner. Once the Big Bang sort of theory came out, fine tuning, everything like that, they had to run away to try and find something like that to get themselves out of a creator of the universe, right? So what else we got going here? We're going to be looking further down. We got, like I said, we got Bitcoin Genie coming up. That could be the frontier of ROI DeFi. So I'm really excited about that. We love to be at the frontier of crypto here. And also Taurus as well, from Cryptographics, another big influencer in the Pulse Chain Titan X community there. And that could be a nice solution too, to perpetual buying, right? Which is what people are after. It's kind of the holy grail in crypto. Can you get perpetual buying? and sustain it, right? So that is pretty cool as well. So looking for that. And then Vibernex down the bottom there, supposed to be coming out, but very much delayed. And that will support the tink farms, right? The tink farms up here, which are very important. You know, if you can, there's a couple of mechanisms. There's a buy and mechanism. There's a tink farm. If you can get these all up, then you attract capital. It all goes up. So we shall see. At the moment, tied into Titanex and the ETH pool there. So that is pretty much it. Let's have a quick look at the bubbles. There's the bubbles at the moment. So you've got a couple of little greens there, Lotus and the Sen. Everything else is red because it's all leveraged on Ethereum, right? So and Ethereum's down. So and there's no counter move there at the moment. Brian says, just like the spoon. Yeah, the spoon. Maybe the universe is made up of spoons, very tiny little spoons. That's true. Quantum eraser theory, says Brian. Yeah. And Brennan says, how long is Wookiee back here? I don't know. Maybe Wookiee's back here is this the fabric of space time. I don't know. That's probably it. All right, so that is pretty much it on the markets. So pretty exciting. It's buy time, buy markets at the moment, buyers market. And for those that are hodling, just hodl. But if you see some good assets, if you see some good cryptos, then accumulate, because I think this is just this rough little patch, this little psycho patch, and Trump has to do these reorderings. It's just kind of it's a horrible to go through, but it's kind of necessary to get everything back on track. And if you don't, I'm probably going to go through this afternoon. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through Trump's economic theory. So for those that are a bit confused about what's going on, we'll go through that, and it will open your eyes to exactly the genius, right? So in the past, we've had to face liberal economists, and liberals have destroyed the West over the last 3 decades. And Trump is the last chance. He's the last chance for getting even a semblance of greatness back in the West, particularly in the North America. But things that he does are also going to benefit the rest of us. Down in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Europe, UK. It's really, our leaders are pretty much betrayers and betrayers. But we're going to keep this positive, because Trump is going to bring in the golden age, and he's reorganizing things. So it's kind of fun to see that, right? So excited to where that goes. So bring it on. That's all I can say. All right, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it there. Big shout out to everybody over on Rumble. We've got a huge crew over on Rumble at the moment. Just we've only been on there a couple of days. We've got almost 20 people over there, so big shout out. And you only started streaming over on Rumble on the Saturday. Looking to talk about some cool stuff. So today, this afternoon, you know what? I'm going to do a Trump's economy. This is the master plan. So if you want to find out the master plan, watch my stream later on today. Share the channel around as well. Trump economy and all the magic that they'll be cooking up there. We're going to go through that. So look forward. I'm going to have a nice little, I probably might make a nice little diagram. How about that too? To make it nice, really easy to follow. If you guys haven't followed me on Rumble, smash the follow. And of course, hit the like button. Get your comments in as well. And join our Discord. The link's in the video description. If you're also over on YouTube, we are streaming on 3 YouTube channels: the Kryptonite Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulse Chain X. That's about 11,000 subscribers. We'll be bringing in probably a 4th channel with another 3,000 subscribers, heading us towards 14,000 on our way to 15,000. And you guys can be part of the journey, right? It's all about community. If you've joined our Discord, you know what that is. It's all about community there. And I do encourage you to join up. Only $12.50 to join. Now, if you want to get into our strategy club, and we pass intel in there all the time, virtually every day, and we talk about projects and markets and everything like that. I give a monthly update, which is in my calendar, so make sure that I do it. So I've got a monthly update there too, and that's only $35 a month, which is fantastic value compared to a lot of people covering those topics. So get on that as well. I also got a crypto course from beginners to advanced. So if you're new to crypto, do that. That's $74.99, but a full course, and it's very easy to digest. You're not going to get stuck in the weeds. And by the time you finish, you're going to have a very good comprehension of what's going on in the market. And I do plan to do a expert and a mastermind level, and that's going to be very, very excited, as well as an applied level as well. So definitely get on that. It's a lot more videos coming for that. So pretty cool. Thanks, Brian, for posting that in the over on Rumble there. And we got we're moving up to more. We've got even more people watching. So big shout out. If you love daily crypto, we cover it all. We cover stock market, crypto, specialized chains like Pulse Chain, Ethereum, Base Chain. Then definitely follow and share it around to your mates and your friends. and of course over on YouTube as well. So big shout out there. All right, that's enough from me. I think we're almost up to 55 minutes, which is a good place to finish. Expecting some bullish markets. I'm still expecting 150 to 250K Bitcoin this year. So bring it on. Bring it on. All right, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. I mean it. It's time to go. You guys are still here. I can see all of you. I can see you all.